Straight ahead on 12 News, a Minnesota military first. Meet a Wayzata student about to attempt something no Minnesota woman has been able to do before. But first, a recommendation that not everyone agrees on, where the Brooklyn Park City Council now stands on plans to access a light rail stop across a busy road. 12 News starts right now. Hello and thanks for joining us. The Brooklyn Park City Council has taken another step in the debate over a busy intersection at County Road 81 and 63rd Avenue.
The council voted not to recommend building a bridge at the future light rail site. Eric Nelson has more on the decision and where the project goes from here.
Getting from point A to point B was the main topic at Monday night's City Council meeting in Brooklyn Park.
The City Council voted 5-2 to support the at-grade crossing.
With light rail on the horizon, council members debated on how the city should upgrade the busy intersection of County Road 81 and 63rd Avenue.
If I had to choose one right now, it would be the safest, best at-grade crossing we could do, and no elevators if I had to choose.
Mike Trepanier got his wish. Instead of building a bridge, the council voted to improve the current pedestrian crossing at street level. If the council's recommendation is approved, there will be an island right here in the middle of the intersection. So if you can't get across in time, you can wait for another walk sign. There were 3 bridge options proposed for the crossing.
Well, for me, I don't think a bridge makes sense.
Most council members thought the bridge ideas were on shaky ground and that crossing these spans would be too time-consuming.
8 minutes is a long time. People just aren't going to use it. So I don't think a bridge is the deal.
We probably won't get money for a bridge to build it. You know, who's going to have to replace it in 40 years? Probably the city. Who's going to have to maintain the bridge? The city.
We went out and looked at a couple different crossing options. We went and looked at a pedestrian bridge that's actually in Columbia Heights over Highway 65 and found that while the bridge is used a lot, there are also a lot of people that don't use the bridge, and it creates almost a more unsafe condition because they don't have crosswalks there.
Of course, there is more to come on this story that involves cars, trains, and pedestrians.
It really is a process because the roadway is a county road, the 63rd is a city street, and then the train, of course, is the train. And so it'll be coordinated among those 3 entities.
In Brooklyn Park, I'm Eric Nelson, Channel 12 News.
Councilmember Terry Parks is one of those who supported a bridge. He does not want a repeat of an incident that happened back in 1999. That's when 9-year-old Kara Kavanaugh was struck and killed trying to cross Highway 252 at 85th Avenue. A bridge was later built there in 2004.
There is frustration in Robbinsdale after vandalism in a park means that the city will have to redo something that just took root. First, a flashback to April 30th. This was the scene of Robbinsdale's Arbor Day celebration at Norma Kelly Park when families gathered to plant a tree near 41st and Xenia. Fast forward to today, and this is what it looks like at the site now, an empty hole. The city's forester had to remove what was left of the new cathedral elm tree after discovering that someone broke the young planting in half.
Trees are living plants, and you can't just bend them and break them. They don't recover, they don't heal, they only produce scar tissue, and when you break it off at the base, the tree's not going to recover from that.
The city plans to plant a new tree in the spot within the next week.
Well, some big bills didn't pass the 2016 state legislative session. One did sail through with a bipartisan effort. Minnesota will switch to a presidential primary in 2020. Ann Rest of New Hope authored the legislation in the Senate. She says it will result in a more orderly process instead of the long lines and voter confusion that tainted this year's precinct caucuses. Rest also says she wishes more bills could pass in the way this one did.
I think that's a model of working not only with members of the other party, but having a good relationship with the other body. I wish everything could be approached in that fashion.
The new primary system would cost the state about $4 million a year. The legislation does not eliminate the precinct caucuses run by the political parties. A Wayzata high school student is making history.
Catherine Zorn of Plymouth is the first female from Minnesota to enlist in the United States Army Infantry. Reporter Sonia Goins explains the significance and why she's doing it.
You're fine. They're just trying to, yeah.
To look at 17-year-old Catherine Zorn, you wouldn't know the major lifestyle change she's about to take on.
I've been thinking about it for a couple years now.
Catherine took her oath at Fort Snelling to enlist in the Army Infantry, which is on the front line.
Part of me is afraid, but also part of me is actually really excited, and I'm ready to do this.
Catherine first wanted to be a medic, but then switched to the infantry. She's paving the way for other women. The Army just recently opened up combat positions for females on April 1st.
It is really cool that I will be with guys and I can show them that girls can do what guys do.
Catherine says she joined the Army to become a better person.
And become stronger, more confident, and become a better adult, and I thought military would be the best way to do it.
Catherine committed to serving in the Army for 8 years. She has a long road ahead of her. First, she has to finish high school and then endure 14 weeks of hard training. But she says she's up for the challenge.
I definitely have to show my support for Minnesota and show that I am capable to do this. It's nerve-wracking.
In Plymouth, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
Catherine comes from a military family. Her grandfather, aunt, and brother are also in the military, and she will head to Fort Benning, Georgia for basic training next July after she graduates from high school.
A Hennepin County detention deputy was at the right place at the right time to save a life. She was off duty at a restaurant when a patron collapsed.
He's the luckiest person there is because he had an off-duty paramedic and I believe an ICU nurse with him, and then myself.
Maggie Carlson is also a CPR instructor for Hennepin County and was one of 4 people to receive a life-saving award from the Sheriff's Office in Brooklyn Park on Monday night. She said the award shows you never know when you will need to use CPR.
You never know. You could be anywhere. You could be at a bar playing bingo and somebody could go into cardiac arrest and you could save a life.
A number of civilians also received Distinguished Service Awards, including Lisa Jacobson, the wife of our own John Jacobson. She is a former member of the Sheriff's Foundation and honored for her fundraising efforts for the foundation.
The auto sales row along I-394 in Golden Valley may be expanding, but not only with new cars. A local car dealer plans to move a classic car rental operation to Golden Valley. The Planning Commission endorsed the idea of using a building on Pennsylvania Avenue for Maury's Heritage Car Connection. They would rent classics like a 1965 Lincoln or a 66 Mustang for special events like a wedding or anniversary. Company officials told the Planning Commission they have been testing the market for classic rentals out of a dealership in Minnetonka, and the Golden Valley City Council will take up the idea next month. Coming up, the return of stomach muscles. Is it possible to get them back?
Hope so. We head to a fitness center in Plymouth for some answers on that. And then later in sports, highlights from day 1 of the Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Championship track and field meet.
But first, the chance for showers and thunderstorms returns on Wednesday. We'll be right back. It feels like summer, and now in Osseo it looks like summer. City crews put up hanging baskets around town Tuesday morning. You can see them along Central Avenue in the heart of town, and there are 58 baskets in all. Donations from individuals and businesses help make the beauty and charm happen. The city takes care of them throughout the summer. In fact, there's plumbing running inside the light poles to automatically water and fertilize the flowers. The idea was to get them in place before Memorial Day observances at Boorboom Park. Memorial Day weekend marks the unofficial start of summer.
And that means many Minnesotans will head out to the lake or the beach these next few months to take in some fun in the sun. In today's Health Check, Elaine Cleveland takes a look at getting in shape for the season and developing a great set of summer abs.
In Minnesota, Minnesota's relatively short summer season, it's not hard to find people relaxing on a beach in their swimsuits.
All right, ready? Middle.
Yet achieving that perfect beach body requires commitment and hard work.
Everybody can achieve that nice toned look in their midsection, and it does take a lot of work. It does take a lot of dedication.
Come on.
Dedication is what brought this group to a weekly abs class at the Snap Fitness in Plymouth.
Awesome.
Where every Wednesday they spend 30 minutes going through a variety of exercises to strengthen their core muscles.
We incorporate a lot of body weight exercises that are mostly timed so that you can challenge yourself as much as you want.
Those exercises include things such as Russian twists, planks, and side planks.
We generally start by saying that 30 seconds is a good time to shoot for and then rest for 30 seconds in between.
Darcy Hansen of Champlin is one of the women sweating through the class.
You can definitely feel it. He mixes up the exercises well enough and pushes it, so we all get a really good workout.
Get him up. Good.
It's a workout that will help Darcy and the others achieve the ever-coveted six-pack abs if they stay dedicated and maintain a clean diet.
Yep.
But trainers say that beyond the aesthetic appeal, a strong core helps with overall functionality and with weightlifting.
And the six-pack shows too that your body fat is at a very controlled level, and that is great for all health benefits.
Regardless of what you do in the gym though, she says abs are made in the kitchen.
You can lift as heavy as you want and do as many core exercises as you want, but if your diet's not on point, then you're never going to be able to reveal all the hard work that you've done.
Words of wisdom as swimsuit season approaches. In Plymouth, Delane Cleveland, 12 News.
The trainers say that if you're in good shape and maintain a good diet, you can achieve six-pack abs in about 5 to 6 weeks. So there is hope.
Yes.
But some of those core exercises, how long? Oh, they look tough. Maybe they get easier after a while. Yeah. Coming up, something new takes root at a Brooklyn Center elementary school.
But first, two of the area's top baseball teams go head-to-head in a low-scoring battle. Jason Malillo has that and more up next in sports.
Jason Malillo with sports now, and you know, for true baseball fans, this was probably a pretty good game. Not high scoring, but good defense, good pitching.
Oh, pitching and defense. If you're a true baseball fan, that's what you want to see, right?
Exactly.
You can sit through a 7-inning game, right, with good pitching and defense is always fun. We are in the final week of the regular season in high school baseball. Two of the better teams in the Metro squared off Monday when 11th ranked Maple Grove visited the top-ranked team in Class 4A. Your Wayzata Trojans. The Crimson get on the board first in the top of the first inning. Brett Scholes grounds out to third. The Trojans take the out at first, but Isaac Collins scores, and it's 1-0 after an inning. Second inning, Trojans tie it. Jarrett Briol's sharp grounder is off Collins' glove. Ryan Welsh scores, and it's 1-1. Maple Grove tries a squeeze bunt to retake the lead, but pitcher Tom Scoro throws home, and Jake Kroll tags out Collins in a bang-bang play, and the teams remain tied. More good defense by Wayzata. Shortstop Cody Getters makes the grab while tumbling over left fielder Griffin Schneider for the putout. Somebody call that thing, man. Maple Grove's defense also shines. Collins is one of the best shortstops in the state. He makes a leaping catch here at shortstop. Great play. They almost double the runner off second base. It's still a 1-1 game in the sixth inning when Lucas Burrington will hit a slow roller to second. An errant throw to first base will allow Charlie Bubba Horton to come in, and that turns out to be the game-winning run. Maple Grove takes this one, beating number 1 Wayzata 2-1. Well, the weather held out for the opening day of softball playoffs for local teams in Section 5-4A on Monday. In the first round play, second seed Maple Grove beat Park Center 4-1. Third seed Osseo Downs Mounds View 4-1. And Champlin Park falls to Spring Lake Park 1-0. In second round play Tuesday, Osseo meets Maple Grove and Spring Lake Park faces Centennial in the winner's bracket. In elimination games, Champlin Park plays Irondale and Park Center meets Mounds View. All games are at Rice Creek Park in Shoreview. Section 6 teams start play today in Edina, and we'll have highlights Wednesday starting at 4 o'clock. The Northwest Suburban Conference Track and Field Championship meet is now held over 3 days. Monday was day 1 for the boys with mainly prelims and a few finals. Irondale High School is the site this year. In the shot put, Champlin Park's Thomas Zinna has a best toss of 48 feet, 1 1/4 inches, and that gets him 4th place. Right behind him in 5th is Alex Jacobson of Armstrong. This is his best toss of 47 feet, 11 inches. To the track, and the one running event final is the 3,200 meters. Maple Grove's Alex Miley laps the field, and the Crimson Junior wins in 9 minutes, 29.93 seconds. In the triple jump, Ron Gray of Osseo is the top local finisher with a best leap of 42 feet, 7 inches. In prelim running events, Armstrong's Evan McClellan in the middle of your screen there in red. He wins his heat in the 100. He's one of the best sprinters in the state. The girls' day one meet is today, Tuesday at Maple Grove, with finals Thursday at Irondale. Wayzata's Ruby Stauber is one of the state's best track and field athletes. Stauber is featured on this week's Sports Jam show on Channel 12. Here's a clip from that story. She also has a great support network led by her mom, Allison Stauber Coffey. Stauber Coffey ran track at Armstrong High School and later for the Gophers. Allison's knowledge has been invaluable in Ruby's development.
She's actually the one who talks to me strategy the most. Like Dave's pretty hands-off about that. He doesn't really tell me a whole lot with my races. So my mom, she's run a lot of 800, so she kind of helps me through. And something last year that helped me, she always tells me 3 quick steps at 400 because that's the second lap is when a lot of people tend to slow down. So she's kind of helped me with that, and that helped me a lot last year, especially at the state meet.
I think a lot of it is just learning from my mistakes. I mean, things that I, executing race plans that maybe I could have done better. And just being around the sport for so long, I just think that there's just little things, if you do little things right, it can make a huge difference in your race.
You can see the rest of the Ruby Stauber story and more on Sports Jam. It's on through Wednesday at 3:30, 6:30, and 9:30 on Channel 12, our HD channel 799, and on our website, 12.tv. So many great ways to see Sports Jam. You can't possibly mess it up.
It sounds like Ruby's got some good guidance in her corner.
She does.
Too. Yeah.
She does. She's a nice kid and a great athlete.
All right. Thanks, Jason. We'll be right back.
Arbor Day may have passed a few weeks ago, but 4 little trees found a new home at a Brooklyn Center school.
Elementary students helped plant the trees alongside staff from Brooklyn Center's Public Works Department.
It makes me proud because we're helping other people that have been working so hard to help them grow trees.
First and third grade students at Garden City Elementary can now watch how 4 new trees grow on their schoolyard. The trees are Cathedral and Princeton elms, which are resistant to Dutch elm disease. The trees were planted in celebration of Arbor Day, but crews from the City of Brooklyn Center come out to different schools each year near the end of May, when the weather tends to be a little bit better than the end of April.
It's fun working with the kids. The kids get a lot out of it. We're teaching them a lot of the benefits of trees at an early age.
And students also got a little seedling to take home so they can plant their own tree. That does it for us.
We'll see you later.